kinda mixed emotions, but I don't have any regrets.
Because I didn't want it to interfere with me trying to get to know you to a deeper and
But
deeper
that's,
level.
to me, that's bullshit. So I think I'm just gonna end the conversation there.
I apologize, and I won't take up more of your time.
One thing about Destiny and Harrison is they're always going to do them. They're not going to involve themselves in other people's business. And I don't understand why Harrison has suddenly been edited in a way that makes him feel as though he's not interested in Destiny and is about to move on from Destiny, when every single time you see them together, they're holding hands, they're kissing, they're hugging, they're sitting next to each other. Even if the producers are not, telling us their conversation, every single time, even when he was telling Destiny about going down a garden path, he was cuddling her and she was smiling. So I don't get why people are upset. And then you have this business with Kassy and Leo, and it's like, Anna needs to stop playing victim. Really? I don't get it. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 5, Episode 10. So in the previous episode, the Islanders had reached a stalemate because they couldn't decide who they wanted to send home, Victor or Carmen. The boys wanted to say Victor because they felt he was there for the right reasons, but they felt that Carmen was more mind play and mind games, which is what I've been saying all along, that Carmen chose Victor because she knew Hannah really wanted Victor. And when she realized that he really wasn't that popular or wasn't going to get her as far as she wanted, then she dumped him and decided to go after Bergie because she felt he was popular. And this is what she played on during this recoupling, in the sense that the Islanders, because they were deadlocked, they had to make a decision of who they were going to send home. They then agreed to give Bergie, I think they must have done a vote whereby they said, you will have to make the decision of whether Carmen stays and Victor goes, or the other way around. And Bergie said, well, I'd rather risk it and take a chance on Carmen, and on the hope that she will choose to, pursue a connection with me and deepen the connection. And it's like, I don't think that's it. Because if she really was that interested in you, she would have worked it from the time she came in. She would have chosen you at recoupling. She would have chosen to go on a date with you, but she didn't. She chose to go on a date with Leo, and then she chose to recouple with Victor. Make it make sense? Anyway, the Islanders then go with Bergie's say, and they send Victor home. And I like the fact that Victor did not let up. He did not try and be fake. When Bergie said to him, I'm sorry, he told Bergie, you're still learning and you've got a lot of things to learn, and hopefully you don't get hurt while you're learning, which is exactly what's going to happen now that, this has happened. All the boys are fuming. They're furious because they know that Carmen is playing games. Carmen is just there to be on TV and to become popular and become an influencer and whatever else comes with being on TV. She's not there to look for love. She's used Bergie as a way to stay in the villa because she feels that he's very popular with the Islanders, which is what has happened, because Bergie has been given the power to say yes or no, and he said yes to her. Victor leaves and all the guys are heartbroken. They all sit outside, and then Harrison has to go and sit with Bergie because Bergie, I think, can see that everybody's fuming, and he knows he's partly to blame for what's happened because he was involved in the rumor that created the scenario and the narrative that Victor was a bully. Anyway, then you have Carmen having a conversation with Hannah, and she's telling Hannah that, when I went to confront Victor, Bergie said, I need to give you a compliment that you're a strong woman. I don't think he meant that in a patronizing way. I don't think he meant that in a demeaning way. I think he meant it in the fact that you are strong because you are not afraid of Victor and you want to confront the issue. I think this is what he meant. Yes, the timing might be bad, but for her to say, Bergie was 10% responsible and she sort of feels some type of way, and it's like, girl, you got what you wanted, you got to stay in the villa, and now you're exposing yourself. You're exposing yourself to Hannah, forgetting that Hannah is going to go back and have a conversation with the other girls. And at the next recoupling, if people have to vote you out, they're going to vote you out straight away. So she was laying the groundwork for when she dumps Bergie, because she knows she's not interested in Bergie. She knows she's used Bergie to stay in the villa, and she's trying to sort of find a way to stay in the villa, be in everybody's good books, and not get in trouble for dumping Bergie, even though he's the one who saved her and kept her in the villa. That's my impression. And she's decided to start off, if she can appease Bergie's sister Hannah and keep her on her side, then everybody else should come along. That's the impression that I'm getting. Leo is a fool. Leo's a fool and he's a player, and I give him that. Leo's a fool. So he sits down with Anna, and Anna is furious because she says she overheard Leo's conversation, and so she feels that if he knew he still wanted to pursue things with Kassy, he should have come to her and had a conversation with her before having any further communication with Kassy. And the fact that he brought her name into it is what's making her very upset. And for me, it's like, Leo is a fool. He's a fool, because he apologized and he said, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize that I still had feelings for Kassy, so this is something that I'm interested in pursuing, and I know I upset you and I shouldn't have done what I did, but anyway, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, as though to say to her, okay, peace, we out. And it's like, he understands what he's doing and he knows what he's doing, in the sense that he was with Kassy. He chose Kassy at the first coupling up when the show started, and then Anna still continued to push up on him until she got him. So he was sort of stuck in between both girls. He didn't close the door to anyone. Kassy closed the door on him, but he still had feelings for Kassy. And then when Kassy reopened the door, he decided to walk in and see what was going on. Were there any changes? And he decided he wanted to stay, and that's it. And so Anna, I think, didn't get what she wanted, and I think to some extent she's furious, she's seething. Anyway, you then go to the islanders. They're getting ready for bed. It's a bit tense, and Kassy sort of says to Anna, I want to have a conversation with you. I know you're upset, but I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Like, you don't owe her any explanation. She took your guy. Now your guy is coming back home. She needs to sit down somewhere, cry, and move on. How she got him is how she lost him. She stole him from you, and you got him back, and so she's left with nothing. She has no leg to stand on. She is making more of a big deal about it than you did when she stole him from you. There's nothing there for her to complain about. Anna stole Leo from Kassy, and Kassy waited, and Leo went back home, and that's it. That's the end of the story. And then, one thing I've noticed about Harrison and Destiny is Harrison and Destiny are always going to create their own little private space where they are calm and peaceful. They will not interfere in any drama unless they're forced to interfere. Otherwise, they're going to keep to themselves and mind their business and whatever's going on between the two of them. So Harrison is having a conversation with Destiny, and I think a lot of people misunderstood this conversation. He was talking about going down a garden path, and he doesn't want to go down the garden path until he's sure that he's ready to be together. And so, in my opinion, what Harrison is saying, or my understanding, because I don't think the producers would allow them to sort of discuss the length of the dynamics of their relationship in depth, especially if there's not going to be any toxicity or chaos. Harrison is telling Destiny, if you take away the garden theory, Harrison is more or less saying to Destiny, I am not sure at the moment whether I want to be closed off or not. I am not sure at the moment whether this is something that's going to be long-term or whether it's something we should work on towards it being something that's long-term. And so I want to take time to make sure that I am 100% on board, because once we take off, we're taking off, and our goal is not just to be a couple on the show, but it's to be a couple once we leave the show. And I want to make sure that emotionally, whether it's because of the dynamics of the fact that there will be an interracial couple, there are a lot of things that he needs to consider before he decides to fully invest himself in Destiny. This is what he's saying, that I don't want to take you down this garden path unless I know I'm ready to be together. As in, I want us to be together, not just together, but together, as in permanency, or he's looking at the longevity of the relationship. So I don't see why people are saying, oh, he's being mean to her, he's playing her games. No, he's discussing his relationship. He told Destiny right from the start that in a relationship, one of the things he values is communication. He's communicating to her that, right, I have found that we've got a growing connection, but I'm not sure whether it's growing enough for it to be something that's long-term, or whether it's something that's just going to be on the show and that's it. So I want to make sure that I know that this is long-term before I fully invest myself and commit myself to you. Because when I commit myself to you, I am committing. I'm not committing just for the show, I'm committing for life after the show. So I want to make sure I am fully on board before I make that decision. And that's what he's saying. And I don't know what people don't understand. Is it the fact that he's used a scenario to describe his goal. Is that what's confusing people? Is it because he's spoken about a garden? The producers are smart, because where did this conversation start from for Harrison to start taking them down a garden path? We need to know. And even if you don't have that, if you just look at the bit that they've shown us, he's talking about their relationship long term. He's not talking about their relationship just on the show. This is why he said, unless I'm sure that I'm ready to be together, not just for games. I can't believe KK and Keenan, the fact that everyone is in the room and they got busy. It's shocking, really shocking. And I'm surprised that none of the islanders woke up. And the producers are crazy. I don't even know why they put it in there. They know that she's got a professional career. She has sort of standards to adhere to. And they decide to show her doing that. That's something that she does in private. Yes, everybody knows that she does that, but they don't need to show it on TV. But anyway, I digress. In the morning, the islanders get up. Obviously, there's still tension in regards to Leo. Leo doesn't care. Leo doesn't care about the fact that Anna is upset. He's going on to move on with life. Anna is stomping around the villa because she feels she was played. But then it's like, you took somebody else's guy, so you need to find somewhere to sit down and keep quiet. Carmen is pretending to, be ignorant or be naive of the fact that Berg is the one who saved her and that she needs to speak to him. She hasn't really said anything to him since the recoupling, so I don't know how that will play out. And then with Destiny and Harrison, I love them in the sense that there's always physical touch. I don't know whether it's one of their love languages or whatever. Every single time you see them, when they're next to one another, it's either they're holding hands, they're hugging each other, they're kissing each other, something is going on. They're not just sitting next to each other and not touching each other in any way. Anyway, you then have Bergie go and have a conversation with Kassy. I think Kassy has been amazing for Bergie, because Kassy has taken on the role of being Bergie's sister, because I think she's realized there's no connection there. But she's going to be his advocate. She's going to listen to him talk. She's going to help him sort of navigate his way in the villa, which is amazing, because at least he's got Carmen, at least he's got Hannah, and he's got Kassy, who are there to help and support him. I know all the other girls in the villa support him, but it seems he's the closest to those two girls. And Kassy, he encouraged Kassy that, if you feel you've got a connection with Leo, then you need to go back to your connection and you need to work on it. If you want to work the connection, don't worry about the girls saying that, oh, girl code, because at the end of the day, Kassy's the one, Kassy's the one who was coupled up with Leo before Anna stepped in. So Anna should not play victim. She tried to play Kassy and sadly lost. And that's it. That's part and parcel of life. She has to move on. She can't sit there and cry and moan, oh, why me, why me? Life isn't fair and she has to move on. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen for her. I don't know. And then you have everyone in the kitchen making themselves something to eat. You have Hannah and Marco. Oh, I don't understand them two sort of making out, and God knows what and what else. So if you take the conversation that Harrison was having in bed with Destiny about going down the garden path, and you take the conversation he's having with Leo, he is saying he can see that Destiny is developing feelings, and Destiny doesn't want to sort of show that she's developing feelings for him, and he has a side of his that is struggling to sort of bring out of himself, and because of that, he is sort of trying to make sure that things are okay with him before he can fully commit, because he does not want to hurt Destiny. He said those words. And so I don't get why people think he suddenly wants to end things with Destiny. He is saying he's worried that he is not at the place that she's at. So she is developing feelings. He at the moment doesn't know if he's developing feelings for Destiny or whether he's struggling to sort of find someone who will bring out a side of him. This is what I think. I think Harrison came into the villa hoping to explore connections, got to the villa on his first day, and his breath was taken away by Destiny, because I remember Destiny was standing next to Jasmine, but he went straight for Destiny and sort of bypassed Jasmine, who had been in front of all the girls sort of heading towards him. And from that moment, I think he was so enamored by Destiny that he didn't expect himself to evolve into the man that he's become. And because of that, he's struggling to sort of try and sort of keep old Harrison around. And he's struggling because it seems the man that he is with Destiny is sort of overtaking a man that is loving, a man that is supportive, a man that is caring, a man that, gives her positive affirmations, makes sure she has something to eat. If she's cold, he's going to take off his jacket to cover her. He's going to use his body to cover her to make sure she's nice and warm. He's going to hold her hand in bed. He's going to constantly be checking up on her, reassuring her. And so I think this is where his struggle is, and this is what he's sort of trying to understand, that is this the man I have become, or is it just a phase? And I think him sort of trying to have a conversation with Leo was him trying to understand what is going on. And I don't understand people saying, why isn't he telling Destiny? According to the clip, he spoke to Destiny about the garden path first, before he even came to Leo. So it's not anything new to Destiny that Harrison has concerns. He's told her he wants to make sure he's ready to commit, and this is what he's discussed with Leo. I don't get where the confusion is. In the bedroom, you have Anna, Hannah, and Marco having a conversation. Obviously, Anna is still upset about Leo and the fact that Leo has decided to move on. I think Anna realizes that she's not in a coupling, and if she needs a vote, she's going to need Marco, who's her friend, and Hannah, who has become her friend through Marco, to save her. And she wants to try and get them on her side to empathize with her before Leo steps in. And it's surprising that I don't know why Marco hasn't told Hannah that Anna stole Leo from Kassy. It's not the other way around. So Anna then goes out to look for a nail clipper and sees Kassy having breakfast with Leo, and she's upset about that. Oh, there's no girl code. You were dancing with Leo. You were rubbing up against him before he decided he wanted to pursue things with you. So what do you mean by girl code? You broke the girl code before Kassy broke the girl code. So please sit your bum somewhere. Everyone has buyer's remorse when it comes to Carmen, in the sense that in the bedroom, you had Marco, Anna, and Hannah sort of moaning that we saved the wrong person. In the ladies' dressing room, you have Hannah, KK, and Anna sort of having a conversation and expressing regret for saving Carmen, because Carmen still hasn't had a conversation with Bergie about, you know, being saved because of him. And then she walks in and she says, oh, I want to thank you all the girls, you know, for saving me. You are my ride or die. If it were not for you, I would not be here. And it's like, people only saved you because everybody's very close to Bergie. And because Bergie told them you had a connection with him, or there was a possibility of you developing a connection, this is why they saved you. The girls then go downstairs and they find Carmen playing cards with Harrison, Bergie, and the other guys. And they sort of pull Bergie for a chat and ask, you're playing cards with Carmen. Has she spoken to you? And he said, no, she hasn't. And they said, well, we have to tell you the truth. It doesn't seem she's interested in you. And it feels like we made a mistake in saving her. And I like the fact that they told him that we saved her for you. She's not appreciating you. She's not doing anything to acknowledge you. So there's no need for her to be here. She can't be here to play cards. That's not why she's here. She's here to look for love, and she needs to find a connection. And before she does that, she needs to have a conversation with you. And I didn't like it. I've always had a iffy feeling about Carmen ever since she coupled up with Victor. And she's only gone on and confirmed my feelings, in the sense that she really is always going to be about Carmen and nobody else. And so I don't know why people sort of put themselves aside or go out of their way to try and accommodate her. If I hear one more person say that Anna was wronged by Kassy one more time, I'm going to scream. Everybody was in the villa from day one. Everybody knows what happened at coupling. Everybody knows how Anna got together with Leo, so people need to move on. And I have to give credit to Keenan, because Keenan kept talking when he was talking to Kassy, and Kassy was sort of trying to say she feels bad because now everybody's sort of turning away from her, because they're saying that she should have learned from her experience with KK and Keenan. She shouldn't be repeating the same mistakes. And Keenan said, yeah, he agrees, but also at the same time, Leo's a grown man. He doesn't need to be forced to do anything he doesn't want to. So he's responsible for his actions. And that's when you had Anna come out. And I think Kassy was trying to get Leo to stop. And Kassy was trying to get Keenan to stop talking. And Keenan kept going on that it's Leo's fault. He needs to sort out his issues. I think he wanted Anna to know that she needs to stop blaming Kassy. And she needs to go back to Leo if she's got an issue with what's happened. And they need to move on. The islanders get ready for the night. And then I love Harrison and Destiny. They're always in the background. The producers know what they're doing with the edits for Harrison and Destiny, how they're playing the conversations out, and how they're leading people astray. I don't know what people don't seem to understand about that conversation. Nothing about Harrison's comments says he wants to end things with Destiny. He's bringing up the concerns he has in regards to their connection because he can see himself going downhill with Destiny, in the sense that he can see himself on a path to a permanent relationship and he doesn't know whether he's there yet, and he wants to make sure that everything is in place in order for him to sort of commit to her. And this is what he said. He said he likes to keep lines of communication open in a relationship. This is what he's trying to do. He's looking for people to help him sort of process what is going on in his head. Instead of him just keeping quiet and moving crazy, he hasn't been shown flirting with any of the girls or sort of trying to create a connection with any of the girls. If that was happening, the producers would have shown it. But he's actually gone and he's spoken to a guy instead of speaking to one of the girls. I think maybe he didn't want to speak to KK because he knows KK and sort of Destiny are very close, and I think this is why he was worried that he didn't want the information to come back to Destiny incorrectly, and maybe that's why he felt like it was important to speak to a guy. And so I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. And then eventually, I digress. I don't know how I got on that. Anyway, and then you have Carmen call Bergie for a chat, and she tells him that she's decided to friend zone him. Did I not see that coming? I saw it coming. I said she wasn't interested in him. I said she was just looking for a ticket in the villa, and here we are. It's sad that Bergie has to learn a lesson. This is what Victor was saying to him, that be careful, but you still got a lot of lessons to learn. And I hope he learns from this, because another girl is going to see him. She's going to come in as a bombshell and she's going to use him. Unless she's lucky like Will from last season of Love Island UK, who eventually managed to get a girl. I have forgotten her name, this Australian girl. But then, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. So the islanders get ready for the night, and it's very tense for Kassy. Oh God, it's like she's walking through fire. She's now being sort of ostracized by everybody, and yet Anna did the same thing, and I don't get why nobody else is telling Anna that you did the same thing. I don't know whether it's because Anna's managed to create connections with everybody else where Kassy hasn't, or what's going on, because I know Kassy had an issue with KK, so I can understand them not getting along, but I don't know why everybody else is not sort of sticking up for her. I think they're more maybe Anna's friends, that's why they're treating her the way they. After the drinks, you have Kassy sort of having a conversation with Leo. They're chatting, they're flirting, and she's asking Leo, do you want to kiss me? Leo wants to kiss her, but he's worried about what's going to happen if Anna finds out. And then eventually he gives in and he kisses her. And Anna's now moaning to anyone with ears to hear that, you know, she feels disrespected because Leo spent all day with Kassy. Well, you broke up with him. Why would you want to spend time with you? You told him you were done. So what else do you expect from this man? Make it make sense. And then eventually she's encouraged by Carmen to go and confront, you know, Leo. She goes outside. She sees everybody in the kitchen and she asks, where's Leo? And they pointed to where Leo is. And up she goes and she pulls him for a chat and she tells him how she feels. And it's like, why? You told him you were done. He said, that's fine. And he kept it moving. There's no need for you to come back to him and say you feel disrespected or whatever. You said you were done. That was it. That was the time for you to sort of set guidelines or boundaries, but you didn't do that. And suddenly you're now the victim and you want everybody in the villa to sympathize with you. I don't understand it. I don't understand the sympathy for Anna. But anyway, KK and Kenan are sort of having a conversation about their connection and how they're going. Obviously, Kenan is sort of asking whether they're more romantic than friendship couple or a last couple, and they feel they've got a deep bond that's growing, and they feel that their connection is quite strong. And for me, it's like you didn't do very well on the Mr. and Mrs. Challenge. You seem to be more focused on lust, because of what you did the night before in the bedrooms. So I think that's what you need to work on, instead of sort of trying to make it out like the two of you are doing great and there's no other problems there. And then KK receives a text message that the hideaway is open. Everybody's excited. And I think Harrison at one point thought he was going to be called out to go to the hideaway, but I don't think Destiny would have agreed. And I think Destiny asked people to sort of say KK and Kenan, because I think Harrison was sort of thought he might get a chance to go to the hideaway, but I don't think Destiny would want to go to the hideaway and do anything. Okay, she's in such a professional career that, that is something that would be frowned upon, and she might not be able to go back to her job if they find out that this is what she was doing on national TV. And so I think she's sort of withholding herself, or she's trying to sort of tread a line whereby she doesn't do anything that's seen as unprofessional or inappropriate by her workplace. So they then said KK and Keenan must go to the hideaway, even though KK is a nurse, and you'd think that she would be more concerned that, she do that on TV. But hey, she's excited. Keenan is excited. They both get ready for the night, and they go off to the hideaway. And it's like, I can only imagine what's going to happen there. And then you have Hannah and Marco flirting and sort of talking about their connection and how strong it is and whatever. And Hannah is sort of saying she doesn't understand why, but she is definitely in love with Marco, even though he farts a lot and is this, that, and that. Then it's like, well, I don't know. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so you must find something about him attractive. Good luck to you and all the best. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed it, and we'll see how it goes in the next episode. I can't wait. I really need to catch up and make sure that I'm up to date with my reviews. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.